O'Reilly! You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge, just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Woo. Woo. Man, can I hear it one time? Can I hear it one time, bro? I need to hear it.
Well, let's fucking go, bitch.
I need it, man. I need it.
Let's fucking go, bitch.
Oh. Dennis Allen as the head coach of the Saints, we have seen a shift. There has been a shift. Breaking news today was first reported by Jordan Schultz, which had no idea that his dad is the owner of fucking Starbucks. But I digress. Jordan Schultz reported that Jarvis Landry, former wide receiver of Miami Dolphins, of the Cleveland Browns, is signing a one-year deal with the Saints. He's returning home, just like Tyrann Mathieu did a couple of weeks ago. We got LSU boys reuniting, and now we have a New Orleans Saints team. We talked about it last night when we recorded the schedule release episode. We have an offense at wide receiver in terms of the depth chart where the top four receivers, obviously health is a big thing, but the top four receivers, you have Michael Thomas. I would put Chris Olave at wide receiver 2, but in this offense, they may, it may be Jarvis Landry, it may be Juice. Interchangeable, Olave, Jarvis Landry. And at 4, you have either Traquan Smith or Marquez Callaway, and their roles that suits them. Whoo, man.
And Deontay Hardy.
Yeah. As a guy that could, he showed to be like the most quote unquote consistent wide receiver for the team last year. His big, playing ability and getting open and converting big plays.
So now you got, man, like it completely changed it's night and day from last year. It's night and day.
Night and day, man. And I tweeted it jokingly. It's blown up in terms of likes, but Dennis Allen and Mickey, I'm sure Mickey is part of it to some degree, but I think a lot of it is Dennis Allen, and just that we've complained so much about not seeing the vision, lack of vision. We don't know how it's going to work out, And Dennis Allen's his tenure as head coach may not go great, but at least I can at least say that they are providing us with the vision of having a competent offense to complement their stellar defense. And at that point, you just kind of, if they're not successful, it's not because of a lack of fucking try.
Exactly. And that's at the end of the day, bro, that's all we want. It's all we want, man. Like, just try. Like, don't settle for mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least just go for it, man. Like Greg Rosenthal been talking about it on the Around the ATL podcast. Is like spend the money. Like the money. Like what is the point of carrying over in all this cap space and all this stuff? Like if you got it, use it, man. Like I can see if you're a team that's like I don't know, like you probably not go. You're like the Jaguars or something. You're trying to rebuild. I can understand that, but like, man, if you're a team and you think like you could at least compete, you think you got a team that's good enough to get in the playoffs, what are you doing? Like, like use every resource available to you to get yourself in the best position to win in January and February. That's all you can do. If it don't work, okay, but it's not like you go out of business if you don't make it. You know what I'm saying? Them checks are gonna come in. This NFL thing. They got this thing worked out. Them checks coming in every year, unless there's like a pandemic or something.
Right. Like a pandemic that like shut down the world that
shut down the world, yeah.
It is funny just seeing the reaction on Twitter. One thing I do appreciate seeing the reaction on Twitter, seeing the reaction in our Discord is just I just love the excitement that the fans have, man, because this offseason started off just awful. Like
it was bad, bro.
Like almost like I'm just gonna retire the jersey awful, bro. Like I was done. This hasn't alleviated that, because at the end of the day they still went after Deshaun Watson. But the way they've been able to pivot and surround Jameis with weapons and just have a competent wide receiver room. And the thing is funny is, shout out to our guy Luke on Twitter, who's also a Patreon. He said, I'm gonna read the tweet directly. He said, it's not even like we are making big brain complex moves. These are moves that have been ours for the taking the past 4 seasons, and he, referring to Sean Payton, refused to make them. And we even saw it even pre-draft, bro. Like Sean Payton went on a podcast or whatever it was, and he like doubled down. It was like, oh, I don't think the Saints need to take a wide receiver in the first round. You were able to get Michael Thomas in the second round. Like he's just gonna go down with that ship like Titanic, man. And maybe the fact that Dennis Allen is a defensive coach, maybe because he's coached against the Saints offense, training camp, he's seen it in practice. I'm pretty sure at some point he's like, man, these dudes terrible. Like my defense eating these dudes alive.
Ken Crawley taking these dudes lunch, bro. Like, he's like, he probably I can't even evaluate my defense because of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, man. Like Dennis Allen is not a head coach. Like I was looking through the the mini camp pictures today. I didn't know who like 99% of the players were.
Right.
Just looking through it, and it's just interesting seeing Dennis Allen, with the visor on, standing behind the quarterbacks. Like that's what he's the head coach now. It was just interesting looking at that.
Right.
Kind of cemented it in my mind now, because he has to be the CEO of the team now. You know what I'm saying? He can't just be looking at the defense and, rest of the shit y'all got to figure out. He got to figure out special teams. He got to make sure the kicking game is on point. He got to make sure the quarterback game is on point, the passing game, the running game, the offensive, everything. He has to cross every T and dot every I. That's literally his job and why he's getting paid. So it just kind of stuck out to me. So I just, this happening today just shows me that he's serious, and the Saints are serious about, giving him every opportunity to succeed.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because he can only go as far as they allow him to go. And man, just, give the guy a shot. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go with Dennis Allen. You want to run it back. You want to be like, okay, we're going to keep everything the same, the culture and all that. Give him a chance to shine, man. Like, looking at the CD Deuce little video, live that he was doing. I love seeing that, because that's just players like real reaction. You know what I'm saying? They just like us a lot of times, bro. They just want to win, man. They just want, they're fans of other players just like we are. And they just want to win. You're like, oh shit, man, DA, we bringing in Jarvis Landry, man. DA a demon out here. Like, like he's just excited just like us.
Just like us, man. Just like
he just want to win, bro. He got to play on Sunday, so he want to win, man. Like that dude want to win. All these dudes, they just want to win. They just want an opportunity to win. It's like we want an opportunity to sit in front of the TV and be, and have a good time. You know what I'm
saying? It's a good feeling, and today in general, right? We had that Michael Thomas workout. We had video. Look like he's running, bro. Like we talked about it.
Them feet was thumping, boy.
Mike Gay would put a predicate on his speed, bro. But it was just good to see that he exists. Like he could run. Like not fast, but he could run.
Seeing him.
And then we got like the first pictures of Chris Olave, in rookie minicamp, and then boom, the Jarvis Landry sign.
Just Chris Olave just look like a saint, don't he? Like he just look like he just
does, bro.
Just fits that whole. I don't know, man. I can't even explain it. Like this dude just look like a New Orleans.
He does, man. He really does. And then the Jarvis Landry news hit, and I took two things away from it. You said the first one in terms of Dennis Allen, having a chance to succeed. The second thing is James ain't got no excuses, bro. He ain't got none. In theory, you should have a somewhat healthy Michael Thomas back. We don't know what version of Mike Thomas we're getting back. You have a rookie in Chris Olave that, even if he's basically a refined version of Deontay Hardy in terms of just wide receiver, and how he can get down the field. And he got Jarvis Landry. Only thing I don't know is how Jameis and Jarvis are gonna, because Jarvis does a lot of his work underneath and intermediate and then run after catch, and that is not Jameis's game. But that said, man, and we talked about, you hit it up. I think it was on Brian's podcast that you talked about. We talked about not having Alvin out as wide receiver. That's going for the playbook, man. I need Pete. I need you to lift the glasses up. I need the glasses to get foggy, Pete Carmichael, and you just cook. You just cooking, bro. I need Pete to cook up something.
Cook it up, man. And the one thing Brian brought up, he tweeted out I was looking at Godson highlights today, and one thing he does, bro, Baker was throwing some inaccurate. I was like, good God, Baker is so inaccurate. He was throwing some inaccurate passes, and Godson was catching them, bro. He was catching them. He go and get that ball, and James is not as inaccurate as Baker Mayfield, thank God. But James do let that thing, go a little high sometimes.
Yeah, you sure can.
And even though Jarvis is not a big guy, he would go and get it. You know what I'm saying? He's tough. He took so many snaps in the backfield. I was like, wow, I just didn't realize he took so many snaps in the backfield.
Right. Yeah.
Like a running back, man. Dude is tough as nails. So, like you said, Jameis has no excuse, man. And he said already he wants to get better in the intermediate and short. And, that's a part of this offense. So he's going to have to do it. And we need it because it's weird. It's just so funny because, Drew Brees got dinged for being, dinky donk, blah, blah, blah. And then it was just the opposite last year. The only play we had was these
deep balls, bro.
Big deep balls and these scramble plays and it was man, where's the meat and potatoes of this offense? You know what I'm saying? So they got the players to have the meat and potatoes. They have the big plays. They have the intermediate stuff. They have a full range offense now. And it's up to Pete to really cook, man. I really want Pete. I wish I could talk to Pete. Bro, this is your time. This is your time, bro. You've been in the shadows for 16 years. Nobody knows your name. One of the best offenses in the NFL over the past 16 years. And nobody knows you. Nobody. This is your time to really solidify yourself and bring your name out, man. Really just shine and be the coach you think you could be. Sometimes, I sympathize with Pete because I'm a guy that at work, I like to play the background.
Yep.
I don't like to lead the meeting and nothing like that. I just do my work and get it done, and he strikes me as that type of guy. But sometimes in my work, I get thrust into a capacity where I need to take responsibility for a big project. And even though it's a little scary, I take it.
Yep.
But once I take it, it forces me to shine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's his time to do that. Okay, you got this. This is your offense. Dennis Allen, he ain't worrying about you. You take it and you just run with it, man. And you make it what you want to be. It ain't got to look like Sean Payton offense. Yeah, it's going to have some things, but you can add some Andy Reid to it. You can add whatever you want to it, some college stuff, whatever you want. And you could just run with it, man. So I just want to see him just take it and just go. Because now you got the tools.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a little bit in the past, and I've said it, that in a perfect world, I think a lot of NFL teams and offenses want their wide receivers to kind of mirror a basketball team, right? You got a guy that can slash. That's your underneath guy. Your guy that can a wide receiver that can catch deep passes and long touchdowns. That's the guy. That's the three. Well, I would say that's the 3-point shooter. Like that's the long range shooter. And then you got it's just any way you can attack an offense. At least right now, schematically from the wide receiver position, New Orleans has it, and it goes back to the and I know what the question was. I know the answer to it is like, what? Why did it take so long? Like these are some things that these are simple things, right? Simple things, and his deal is a $6 million deal. At the beginning of free agency, when he got cut, he wanted to make double digits. Like he wanted to make $12 to $15 million, bro. And that price came crashing down, bro, like a cryptocurrency, nigga.
Exactly. And I got to take my lumps because we were criticizing them. Oh yeah, criticizing the Saints for not making any moves, and they gambled and played the waiting game.
Played the long game, man.
Played the long game, and luckily it worked out. And look, props to them, bro. Like this team was $70 million over the cap in February, man. $70 million, man. Like that's crazy, bro.
That's wild.
And to be able to, yes, they did lose some talent. That can't be. You can't look over that. But to be able to, land how they did and just land, Marcus May and a D tackle and then sign, Tyrann Mathieu and get a player like Jarvis Landry, and May. That's just crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Their entire draft class is signed except for Alontae Taylor. I'm pretty sure he'll get signed, and the draft class will get wrapped up soon. And speaking of that subject, I don't know what the succession plan is. I haven't watched Succession on HBO, but I would assume at some point the plan is for Mickey Loomis to get some type of like higher up front office president title where he's no longer the GM. Jeff Ireland gets promoted to GM. And can we do something to make like Kai like an assistant GM? Can we do something where he is able to be retained and also get a promotion and a pay raise? God damn it, bro. Man, out here is just not even like illegally, but this man is cooking the books, and he's been doing it, cooking the books so well for all these years now. And I just want him to get some love and some credit. Not, and I don't want to give him too much love and credit. Don't want another team come sniffing around. But can we just I don't know. I was just thinking like if that succession plan, and I'm sure that's at some point is the reasoning because you don't want to leave. You don't want to lose Jeff Ireland. Is the feeling I get in the front office. So
he's the football guy.
He's the football guy. So Mickey gets a nice cushy title. Jeff Ireland goes everyone goes up a level. I think they got to do whatever they got to do to keep Kai.
And look, man, like Kai might not be a football guy, but that's just how Mickey Loomis started. Mickey wasn't a football guy, man. Yep. Mickey was a bean counter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all he was, man. But he developed into a football guy over the years and a consensus builder. And, that could be Kai, man. He could have a long career in this game. Young African-American band. He's doing his thing, bro. And he signs the players. Like every player that comes in, sign their contract, they got to meet with Kai, because he put them numbers together, And, everybody like to talk about Loomis, and Loomis is the guy that, gives that rubber stamp. But Loomis hands that shit off to Kai. Like, get it done, Kai. Like, we want this player. Show me the numbers. Boom, figure all that other shit out. The accounting, figure that shit out.
To quote Dan Hanses, bro, Kai's Kai.
Kai's Kai, man.
Kai's Kai, bro. So we did the schedule. We went through the schedule game by game last night. You landed on 10-7. I landed on 9-8. We talked about it even towards the tail end of that podcast episode that if they signed I said if they signed Jarvis, I would probably give them another win, and make them 10-7. And I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna look at the like schedule. I have it right in front of me. You know what, bro? I'm gonna say that they'll sweep the Bucks again this season.
Oh,
I'm gonna say it because just getting someone like Jarvis, it just really puts everyone in their place. And you know, I was watching the first Avengers over this last weekend when Loki was doing his speech when they did their little thing, taking the and whatever. And he says this line, you know, when they're kneeling, he said, "Is this not your natural position, bro?" Like, and like I just thought about Josh was cooking them lines anyway. But I just thought, like, you know, you had Marcus Callaway wearing number 1 last season. We had Traquan, like, we were looking at the fucking injury report, hoping that fucking Traquan could play. We don't got, like, they can just do, you know, their thing at wide receiver 4, and they're just in their natural position now. That's how big a signing like this is. Like, you don't got to worry about them being wide receiver 3. Like, if there's an injury that someone gets injured for a game or two, they got to miss time. Like, yeah, maybe they need to step up and be a wide receiver 3, but they don't got to be a wide receiver 2. They don't got to be a wide receiver 1. And that in itself, to me, is huge. Like, that is huge.
It's the biggest thing, man. Like, Marcus Callaway, he probably looking around like, damn. Hope I got a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's the inverse of the Will Smith Fresh Prince meme, bro.
Exactly. Like, oh shit. Got crowded around here. Like, damn. And there's no disrespect to Marcus Callaway because I thought he's a good player. You know what I'm saying? He's a good wide receiver. But, you know, he just didn't need to be in that role as the number 1. So, you know, it just evens everything out, and everything makes more sense now. So somebody, I don't know if it's a tweeter from another team, but he was like, "Oh, Jarvis Landry rarely gets 1,000 yards. What's the big deal?" Like, man, go watch the Saints wide receivers from the last 2 years.
As long as this nigga can get open.
Like, just get open sometime, bro. And the good thing about Jarvis Landry, like, it's not all over the middle. Like, he gets open on the outside. He does everything. He throws passes, bro. Like, you could throw some trick plays with him. He's throwing touchdowns to Odell Beckham. And
another thing about Jarvis, bro, he's a hell of a blocker at the wide receiver position, bro. Hell of a blocker.
He's a dog. And look, like, you know, one of the knocks on Chris Olave was, you know, his physicality. Man, he gonna be up in the room with Mike Thomas, Jarvis Landry, look, even Callaway and Traquan. Them dudes get physical, man. Like, so he's going to be just great for his development as to become a well-rounded wide receiver.
It should rub off on him. And I think someone said in our Discord, I don't know who it was, so I apologize, but they said we don't got to watch little Jordan Humphrey no more, bro. Like,
bro, get him out of here, man. No offense, but get him out of here, man. I don't see him.
Don't want to see him. And I'll say this, I don't know anything, but just the sense I get with this team is they might not be done. And I don't know what that means, right? I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's an offensive player. I don't know if it's a defensive player. I just get the sense that they really feel like they can contend. And every move that they've made, and I think the first person that really talked about it after that trade happened with the Eagles was Tony. He said it, bro. He said Saints feel like they are a team that can contend. They're a playoff team. That's why they wanted to get 2 talents in the first round. They got them. They got Olave. They got their offensive tackle. They signed a need position in Honey Badger. They just signed Jarvis Landry. Like, team kind of loading up, bro. Like, team is loaded up. Is it wild? Like
wild,
I'm like,
man.
I was like, damn, dude, shit. Can I figure out how to go to Arizona game? Just, but I think I'm good at 3. But it's crazy. It's crazy to see.
And I was just looking through some stats from last year, man. And the offense was so bad, but it was still kind of mediocre, which is saying something. Like they should have been worse than mediocre last year.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, just statistically, they were mediocre. Like for me, they was like one of the worst offenses to watch.
Yes,
but
100%.
But statistically, they were mediocre. So with the pieces they added, I mean, you at least got to be a top 10 offense. And by top 10, I just mean overall efficiency, yards, points, red zone, third down. The main key point is, I think we were 3rd or 4th in the league in running on first down, which drove me insane.
I remember, it was driving you crazy. It was driving you crazy.
First down, run for 2 yards or run for 1.5 yards. Then your second, it's 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 9. And James got to do some Houdini shit. Then it's 3rd and 8, and it just drove me crazy. So now you got an offense, man. Pete, back to Pete, man. Sling that thing on first down, man. It's 1st and 10. Sling that motherfucker. You got somebody that can hit somebody at any point on the field, man. Let James cook. Let him cook. And the thing is, you got a good defense that can withstand a few Jameis mistakes. Not too many, go crazy.
Yeah.
But it could withstand a 15 interception season from Jameis Winston. We've had it with Breeze,
right.
So it's okay to just kind of loosen the leash a little bit, because Sean Payton had a tight leash on him last year, tight leash.
It was Black Steak Moan, bro. Like it was.
But let's just loosen it a little bit and just let him do him, man. This is a dude that is thrown for 5,000 yards. You got the tool, you got the rookie for him. Let him cook a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You know what's funny is that the game that I felt that Sean was finally letting him cook was that Bucks game that he got injured.
Bro, that was so amazing. I wish I could go back and watch the first quarter or so, because I really felt the same way. Like it felt like Jameis's come out game. Like he was running, he was throwing, he had command of the offense, and cut short.
And I would be, and I don't. The thing that with Jameis coming off this injury, I doubt the Saints play him at all in preseason. They might, but what is going to be interesting and I guess a little worrisome to see at the beginning of the season is that if he doesn't play in the preseason, they don't really have any. They're not going to have a lot of rounds as an offense with Jameis. With Jameis at quarterback, he's played with Mike Thomas, to a degree, but he's never played with Chris Olave. He's never played with Jarvis Landry, anything like that. So like the timing and the repetition and getting on the same page may be off. I get why they probably might just hold him out completely out of preseason. Although I believe Joe Burrow played when he came off his injury last. Yeah, Joe Burrow played in last preseason. So we'll see how it plays out. I might be wrong. They may play him a drive or 2 in preseason, but I do think it's important for some type of them playing together to prepare themselves for the regular season.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that just underscores another point where Saints fans has got to prepare itself. It's just a lot going on, a lot of new pieces, a lot of players coming from injury. You got James coming from injury. Mike Thomas, you can't expect Mike Thomas to be Mike Thomas week 1. You know what I'm saying? It might take a little time. Jarvis Landry, he's trying to get himself healthy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a lot of little things you just gotta be patient about, but the pieces are there. But just don't freak out early if it's not looking like you want it to look. It might be one of them things that kind of has to build over the season.
Yes, for sure. I want to give a shout out to Jason Champagne, who I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly on Twitter. And he said that the 2022 Saints are like the jilted ex who starts Operation Get Fine immediately after the breakup, bro. Oh, you gonna throw this pussy away? Oh, I got something for you.
Now you want to.
They get on that shit, drop 50, 30, 40 pounds on social media.
Taking the pictures, I'm like, oh. You gotta block to move on, man.
There you go. You already know, bro. Can't live in the past. Can't do it, bro. Block and move on. Anything else? I as a fan, I'm glad to see the fan base get this excitement, man.
Yes. You get the LSU players, like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's a whole
former teammates.
Just being reunited. You had Odell in Jarvis's, mentions or whatever on Instagram having FOMO. He's like, take me with you. No, I don't know how that'll work. I'm not even sure Odell's gonna play football this season, so I don't know if you sign him for this season and in a cheap ass deal with the expectation that he's gonna play.
You sign him, you put him on PUP, then you put him on IR. Like, I don't know.
But can we talk about that Louis Riddick tweet real quick, bro? Who was blocked, by the way?
You blocked.
He blocked you?
I said, you blocked him?
Oh, Louis been blocked, bro. Louis been blocked for years. And then when I was going back to LA from Mobile, from New Orleans. I am 95% sure he was sitting right in front of me with his fucking ball ass head, bro. 95% sure. And I just wanted to just lick my hand and just smack that nigga right upside his fucking peanut fucking head. Can't stand him. Anyway, his tweet was like, this offense and Sean Payton, like they have something cooking. Like, yo, did you forget that like Sean Payton walked away? Like from the
right. Like that's on him. Like that's just on him. Like he act like we fired y'all or something.
Like what are we doing? Like what? Why? But yeah, man, I was going through, the rookie minicamp pictures earlier too, and just I didn't go through all of them, it was way too many. But just seeing Chris Olave, saw like there was a Kai side, and siding in there. All these moves has me, being that you and I do this pod, has me very excited for our live streams. How we're going to be engaging with Saints Twitter pod community, and everything. So we're excited about it. All these moves just going to make the experience even more exciting.
Yeah.
I'll say this. So I want to say this. So we don't know how the details are going to play out for the meetup during that weekend of the Raiders game, which is October 30th. However, I do think something that we are leaning towards doing, it's not finalized yet, but we did want to do something special just for our Patreons. So we might do is a Saints Twitter Patreon members VIP little get together with me, Ryan, and us and our community, our Discord community, all us getting together in a little private thing, and then another evening we'll do a public thing for everyone. But best believe for the private little thing, if we do it that way, like niggas gotta come up saying what their email is. We're gonna have a list, bro. I have a list. Checking it, bro.
Can't just show up.
Can't, bro. We'll get someone to escort your ass out. But I'm this is one of the most upcoming seasons I'm excited about. Football aside, like the team, the roster looks good, looks like it can contend. But that aside, I'm just really looking forward to all the things that we have in store with our Patreon community. If you missed the episode yesterday with the schedule release, it was announced that Ryan and I will be attending the Raiders game Halloween Eve, October 30th. We have an extra ticket. We purchased an extra ticket that we're going to raffle off to one of the Patreon members. So if you're a member of Patreon, all you have to do is just be signed up. If you're signed up between now and when the game is, you'll be in the raffle. And then whoever wins can join us at the game. We're going to try to do it a little earlier before the game, just in case maybe someone gets picked and they can't attend. They don't live in New Orleans. It's too far to travel. They can afford it, things like that. But if, someone gets picked, they can go to the game. You're sitting with us. We got one more Patreon today. So our total's at 121. So we're 79 away from our goal of getting 200 Patreons before the start of the regular season. I believe in you guys. I know you could do it. It seems like the Good News podcast brings out the generosity of people. So need the Saints to keep blessing us with good news. But all that said, if you're a Saints fan, today was a good day. Head into the weekend. Got to enjoy it. Oh, that's funny. Sterling Moore. This nigga was celebrating his INTs when these niggas was getting thumped. But yeah, anything else you wanna add?
No, man, that's it, man. And like you said, if you want to try to get the Raiders ticket, also donate to Alan.
Yes.
Alan Keller Tailgate Together. If you donate to his, homelessness campaign, you definitely get put into the raffle to get that Raiders ticket. So
yes. So it's Friday. I think Ryan's going to try to get this posted tonight so we can, start the weekend on a positive, good note. The Saints have a wide receiver room that can contend, that hopefully is healthy. We have depth, and man, as a fan for what we've seen at the wide receiver position of these last couple of years, you can't ask for much more than that, man. You just can't.
We deserve this.
Yes. So with that, have a good weekend. Enjoy it. Relish in it. We'll. Hopefully, we might have some more good news these next couple, coming days. But if not, just enjoy this moment. Being a fan, being excited, and being a fan. With that, we're gonna get out of here. Wow.
Peace.
O'Reilly.
You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge, just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.